So while they come up, who has ever used AI in some facet or another? Okay. A lot more hands raised this year than last year. Who uses AI on a daily basis in their business? Chris? We got a couple. Okay. Fantastic. So before we start, we're good to go. Before we start, each panelist can introduce themselves. They'll start with how many years they've been in business and what was their first time using AI. Allison, kick us off.
I've been in business since the beginning of 2019. I'm Allison Shearer. We're assisting Hans Lombard in the Illinois area. And I don't know, we have a chat box on our website, don't we? So we've been using AI that way, whether we know it or not. So
I'm Charles Montgomery. We're in Collegeville, Pennsylvania, and probably the first time using it other than like the OtterBox was ChatGPT, like many of you.
Hi, I'm Harrison Skolnick with the Villages, Florida. We've been in business since June of 2023, and my first time using AI was like Charles with ChatGPT whenever the beta version came out.
Matt and Britney McClary. We started assisting Hands August of 22. We're in Mansfield, Texas, which is right in between Dallas and Fort Worth, but we're on the south end. And I'll let her tell you about our AI experience.
AI, I guess probably ChatGPT. I had to convince Matt to use ChatGPT because he likes to write long, eloquent emails. And I was like, hey, that's a waste of time. Put it in ChatGPT.
Allison, let's start with you. If an owner has never used AI before, what's a good starting point?
ChatGPT for one. I was a little concerned about starting to use more and more AI myself, like to have a lot of ethical questions about AI, but realized that it's going to take you over if you don't take it over.
Charles, you told me a lot about how you use AI in your operations. Do you want to share how you've integrated AI into running your Assisting Hands franchise?
Sure, absolutely. Well, a while back, Patrick introduced me to a book called Traction, and it was a great book. I actually required all of the leadership staff on our team to read it.
Does anybody else in the room use EOS Traction to run your business? We got one, two, we got a couple of hands. Cool.
So one of the neat things is that you can actually use that to help you with implementation of EOS. And so you can use prompts, and that's the language that you use in ChatGPT or Gemini. I use several of the platforms, and you can tell it, okay, you are an expert implementer, and you have read Traction and have coached dozens of other businesses. Now, and then I'll enter our mission, vision, values. What step should we take in terms of improving our organizational structure, and then asking it questions about how to lead meetings, and then how to structure our KPIs and just cadence around that as well. So it can be an expert if you tell it to assume the position of an expert. And then I also will include in the prompts cite sources so that I can have the research behind this and dive deeper as need to. And so it'll not only give you advice on what to do, but also information on where to find the sources that it read through as it produced this summary or advice or just whatever you'd want to use. So, and that's something that I'll even encourage the team to do. So if we're implementing and I've delegated one part of it to someone else and they're a little bit unsure, then I'll say, okay, use ChatGPT or Gemini, give them some specific prompts, and that'll help guide you. And then we can come back together and revise that. So we don't necessarily take it verbatim. We'll use the sources cited to dig in deeper just to make sure that we're on the right track.
Fantastic. So Harrison, we'll stick with you. You set up your AI call center with us in December. So you're probably one of the first, if not the first, home care agency in the US to use an AI call center. What led you to that decision?
On-call burnout, holidays. I mean, that was during the holiday season, so it was nice to not have to kind of scramble to your phone as soon as somebody's calling on Christmas dinner or something, and no spam calls anymore as soon as you turn that on. So that's pretty nice, and it's helpful. I mean, it greets them immediately, speaks to them a little bit, and the voice has gotten substantially better over time. So being an early adopter, you kind of understand a lot of those initial challenges that you're going to have. And in our market in the Villages, we have a lot of folks that don't really enjoy the thought of talking to somebody automated or something automated. So the better that voice gets and the more it learns how to take some of those challenging questions and give it the right answer or pass it to the right person, the better it's going to be in the long run, and the less burnt out our people are going to be whenever we're handling on call. So it's been a big help for us.
Fantastic. Matt, Brittany, you guys implemented the AI call center and have trusted it to handle every incoming call and have even coached it into now running initial interviews for caregivers. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, so I want to go ahead and start off. I am not an early adopter, as you could tell. So if you're new to the room, true story, when I was a coach at Arlington High School, go Colts, I remember getting a letter in the mail from AT&T saying, we are now cutting off 3G service, and here are 3 free phones that you can choose from. So, 4G had been going for years, and they were like, 3G is no longer live. So I mentioned that to say, it was not an easy thing for me, kind of the ethical thing with using AI. I was like, I don't really know that I really agree with this, but again, you're going to get so far behind the power curve, you're going to be scrambling. So for me, the reason I could not only rationalize but welcome the idea of bringing in AI for answering our phones was, number one, we get a lot of phone calls. I jokingly say, I've had multiple conversations with individuals like, I'm just now feeling like we're getting our feet underneath us where we can actually improve on our processes and frankly, maybe make some adjustments in our office that needed to have happened because we've just been so busy. God has really blessed what we've done. But because we field so many phone calls, most of which are scheduling phone calls, things like this, where's your address? I've got training and I don't know where to go. Our system, we named it Karen, kind of like the old show Daryl, right? Karen is a female voice for us, and it's interesting how much workload has been brought down. Does it take care of everything? No, but it definitely lowers the amount of calls that we have to receive. He had mentioned the number of telemarketer calls that get rejected. There were 2 this morning. The first 2 calls we got were determined to be telemarketer spammers, and it just rejected them. And so that's been a really nice thing because our ladies in the office, very stressed with what they do. It's a very hustle and bustle setting, and so Karen helps make that better for us. So, did that kind of answer your question?
You did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Something that we've implemented now, there's about 100 calls a day coming through, so it's really cool to see with home care agencies, a lot of the questions that get asked are very similar, so you can code that in once, and then every agency owner we work with gets the same answer for that potential question. And we've implemented it at Proceed. That's a good takeaway. If you're looking at how to use AI, look at things in your business right now you feel like are ineffective and plug it in there. Don't just say, I need to use AI and try to figure it out. Find the things you really don't like doing and start there, because there's a chance AI, like just taking incoming calls, God forbid you're having dinner with your family on a Sunday and you get a call, like AI can take that and then you can call them back when you're more mentally focused.
You had asked a question about recruiting. I think Britney will probably...
Oh, go ahead, Brittany. Tell us about recruiting, because this is really cool.
This has been a game changer. So I didn't even know this was AI answering phones was a thing. And Matt's like, hey, I think we need to try it. We do a lot of surveys. We try to do them quarterly. And one of our biggest complaints from clients was the phone system. Because let's be honest, when ours went from just anybody picking up the phone, right, to like, okay, we have enough. Let's do a press 1 for this department, press 2. Clients hate that. I know I hate it. We're like 0, 0, 0. I literally had a client tell me, I don't like this corporate BS but that's what he told me. He's a little grouchy. So with Karen, she answers the phone. She's like, assisting hands, this is Karen. I do have to say, Pat gave us a real country voice first, which I was highly offended by. I'm like, we're not that country. But so you can like tweak your voice. Robbie's like, yes, they are rednecks down there. You can tweak your voice, and so they most people think that they are talking to a real person because the voices have gotten so good. She answers questions for them, basic questions as far as who they need to talk to. So now my phones are routed to the correct person, so that cuts back on work timing. They can answer those questions of fax numbers, addresses, and things like that. So going into the recruiting, I'm sure y'all are like us. You have several people just randomly call in and they say, we're looking for jobs. Well, half of them are junk, right? They don't have a driver's license. They're not qualified. So with Pat, we were able to set up like our qualifying ones. So Karen now asks them if they're looking for a job. She'll ask our qualifying questions. I don't even really know what they are right now. Actually,
driver's license. Do you have insurance? Do you have a car? And then what's your experience? Oh, are you comfortable with the background check?
Are you comfortable with the background check? Yes. And so if you want to call and play around with ours, it's really funny. I told Karen I had murdered someone, and she was like, we're sorry, we can't move forward with that. Like, I just want to see what she would say. So,
we set up a test number 2, so we don't need to blow up.
Oh, please don't blow up our phone.
So stop by our booth, though, and we can share that number with you to test out Karen in real time.
But I encourage you to test her to like see how many questions you can ask her, because she really doesn't get thrown off. And we've had people argue with her. You'll get like an email of like the transcript afterwards. Karen doesn't have emotion. So she was mad she needed to pay her bill. And Karen's like, oh, that's great. Let me transfer you. No emotion with her. Somebody had told her that somebody was in the hospital. I'm so sorry to hear that. How can we help? So she responds like a real person.
Cool. Thank you. Let's end it with this question. Imagine you're sitting here today, never using AI. What would you tell yourself to get started? And we could just start with Britney and come all the way down the line.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say go for it. Like, Proceed makes it so easy. We didn't just go from like nothing to all. Like, we eased into it, found those errors. So it was really stress-free, to be honest, because we just eased into it, and now we have it taken over all incoming phones and the recruiting, and we even have more ideas of what we're wanting to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, again, not being a natural early adopter, I agree with Britney. I mean, the earlier you get started with it, the more that you can set it up for your sake, for your purposes. I will say the guy sitting to my left, your right from me, had it already going. So that really kind of lowered the learning curve for me. It certainly lowered it for Patrick as well. The way that the phones answered and whatnot really just made it easier for us, because I wouldn't have known what to do with it. So every person that comes onto the system is just going to make it that much more intelligent, much more effective and efficient. So
Wolfie has a question.
Yes, sir.
I would be really interested in how far you are in taking prospect calls, almost like a sales call.
Don't steal my idea.
In the late night, on the weekend, so that they almost can sell the service already acquired.
So Wolfgang wants to know kind of if anybody has any experience with receiving prospect phone calls for patients. We have not, but apparently he has. So it's perfect time to hand off.
Yeah, so essentially it's just the first receptionist. It's the first point of contact where it's, what do you need? What are your needs? When's a good time to call you back? When are you looking to start services? We have to do an assessment. When's a good time for us to schedule that? And then, okay, we'll transfer this to, one of the people that is going to be doing your assessment. And then we use it that way so that, it can be, if it's me, I'll say, hey, I'm Harrison. I got your synopsis from the AI or from our automated attendant. You can't call it an AI or else they start acting funny, but anyway, so that way the situation, the timeline. It's just kind of, you have everything in front of you already. It does pitch the services if it's, what are your care needs? What are you looking to do? And if it's in line with what we do, they'll say, yep, that's exactly what our caregivers do. We'd love to help you. It does work out fairly well, but doing that kind of like final sell, you still need the closer to come in. It doesn't necessarily close the deal, book the assessment, but yeah, it gets it scheduled in a proposed time slot. You have their care needs all mapped out already. You know what they're looking for, so it's helpful.
If you had never used AI today, what would you tell yourself to get started?
I would say talk to ChatGPT. There's a feature where you can just speak to it and have a conversation.
If you don't pay for premium, by the way, please, it's $20 a month, and it allows you to actually talk to ChatGPT and really see what it's capable of.
I have about an hour commute to the office, so that's what I do on my way home is I just talk to ChatGPT, have it draft some documents or just whatever I was working with that day. I just use that last little hour to kind of finish up.
And then on my end, if I'd never used AI, how I would convince myself to use it today. Our digital marketing industry is changing really fast. And for our team, they know that in 2 years, maybe even 1 year, depending on the speed, they either need to be 10x more productive or finish what they're doing at right now in 1/10 the time. So with our industry, our team is already using AI to implement process improvements faster, rank the assisting hands we work with better, rank them on an AI faster, and utilizing that in their day-to-day has really essentially eliminated the need to hire, but 10xing each employee so they can do more with their time has been really crucial. So for every business, it's cool because with your business, you're still going to need that in-person touch. That's not going away, but back office or things that you could delegate, AI can be right there to take it over instead of, okay, let me add one more person, but making it more productive. And I did hear this quote, so I'm stealing it, but AI today is the stupidest it'll ever be. So it's only getting better, which is terrifying in a sense, but also really, really cool. We got a question, Peter?
Has anyone looked into using it for following up with caregivers on compliance documentation, kind of onboarding process?
Well, if you're using Engage, it does use AI, but I haven't used it specifically for that.
Yeah. Should be possible though. If you look at it, any system that feels mindless, we encourage our team, go and try AI with it, because if it's mindless, the AI is really good at taking those things on. Level 1 calls, process improvements, summarize a document. Do we have another question over here?
Yeah, I'm curious, actually, in the spirit of being efficient and effective, I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm curious if anyone in this room today, now, is using AI to take notes for the seminar or national team is. That's a great question.
No? It's a good opportunity.
As we're here taking notes, we might not capture everything.
It's a great opportunity. Yes, one more.
We're recording right now.
Okay, so we are.
You got different recorders, you got laptop. This one's a note pen. Basically, it records everything, finishes, summarizes it, creates action plans for you.
Let's round it out here because I could feel everybody getting antsy. Main takeaways for every business owner: just experiment with it. Like Harrison said, just don't ask me the question or Allison the question or just go in and try it. See if it works. If it doesn't work, at least you know you've pushed it to the limits. Integrate it strategically into your operations. People get overwhelmed with AI. Just find the things you hate doing and see if AI can do it. Ask ChatGPT, hey, can you do this? Here's what I'm struggling with. I'm struggling with integrating a form with an API with something that I've never coded before. You plug it in there and honestly it worked immediately, which was crazy. And then the last one, educate your team. If you're doing things and you feel like you're ahead of the game, educate your team on how to use it. An example that we did internally was I put every single sales process document pricing into a custom GPT. And then I told our sales team, if you have a question, this is level 1, ask it. 95% of the questions it answered well, and the 5% it didn't, they could still come and ask me, but God, was that a good process improvement with my time. And then don't be afraid to test the limits. Just really push it beyond so you know what it can do and what it can't do, because it's not perfect. And hopefully by next year, AI's integrated a little bit more into all of your businesses. Thank you to our panelists for coming up here and giving their time.